Hi and welcome to Kresen Kernow, home to the Archives and Cornish Studies Service collections. Our stores hold over 1.5 million documents, books, maps and photographs related to Cornwall's history, ranging in date from 1150 right up to the present day. All these collections are unique to Cornwall's heritage and have been chosen for long-term preservation. They're also all available for anyone to come and use in our library or archive. The library is where you'll find modern books, newspapers and journals, and the archive is where you can access the older document collections and the rare books. In both areas, it's really important to be aware of how you're handling these items, as small repeated actions can cause damage over time. To help us keep everything in good condition and still provide access to the collections, careful handling is really important. Our printed handling guidelines are available in both the library and the archive spaces, and the information in this short film will cover handling procedures for the most common document types you may come across in our collections. Remember, if you're not sure about something, if you need help, or if you have any questions, you can just ask one of our friendly team at any time. Firstly, contrary to what you may see on TV, we don't wear white cotton gloves to handle our documents. They may look the part, but often they do more damage than good. The thick fabric can make you lose your fingertip dexterity, making it difficult to pick up a document, and the cotton fibres can catch, tear and even scratch fragile surfaces. Instead, for most archive materials, we ask that you have clean, dry hands and no recently applied moisturisers or hand creams. When handling extra sensitive items, however, like photographs, negatives, coins, medals or unglazed ceramics, you will need to wear blue nitrile gloves. Not only is it important to wash your hands for safe handling, but for your own safety too after viewing any documents. Although the items we look after do go through a quarantine process and get cleaned by a preservation team, historic dirt and even traces of hazardous materials, like heavy metals used for colourful dye pigments, may still exist on document surfaces. They aren't harmful to your health, but like handling any dirty object, it's best to wash your hands after handling archive material. If you suffer from allergies and would prefer to wear some personal protection equipment, we can offer you blue nitrile gloves and face masks. Just ask one of the team. It's also important to think about any accessories you may be wearing, particularly on your hands, wrists or around your neck, and remove or cover up anything that might catch or drag across the surface of the documents you're using. When you come to see documents in the archive, you will be given a box or tray of the documents that you have ordered. Each document will have a yellow paper ticket slipped inside it to help us track the movement of that particular document around the building. Please keep these tickets with the right documents as you work your way through your items. Many of our smaller flat documents are packaged in grey, acid-free folders with a string tie. If you are viewing lots of folders, be very careful not to mix up the contents from each folder. It's best to work your way through one folder at a time and keep the documents in their original order. When you've finished with documents, put them back in the folder, making sure that no edges are sticking out and that they are in a flat, even pile. Even if the pages look very modern, please don't scoop them up or tap them into position. Loose photos may be packaged in white paper envelopes or clear plastic wallets. If you have to remove the photographs from an envelope, you will need to wear blue nitrile gloves. If the photograph can stay in the clear plastic wallet or is mounted on cardboard, you don't need to wear gloves. Photos in photo albums don't need to be removed. You can just turn the pages without touching the surface of the photograph. Bundles of deeds may be wrapped up with cotton Alice bands. Keep them in the order you found them, and when you finish looking through them, they can be tied back up with a cotton tape bow at the side of the bundle. Sometimes parchment can be quite springy when you open a document, so we use weights to help keep them open. They usually fold back into their original position quite naturally, so follow the fold lines when you've finished with them. Try not to place weights on the fragile wax seals and use a piece of acid-free card as a guide to help trace across the document instead of your finger. When using rolled items like maps, be prepared to find more than one document rolled up together. The document tag will show you if there is one document or a number of items together. We often interleave our rolled items to help them stay together in their bundles more securely. This means smaller or extra long documents may be found within the larger ones, so it's important to unravel a rolled item slowly and carefully. Use weights to stop the documents springing back up. You can always ask our team for help with unrolling things, especially if they're large. Rolling the items back up can be a little tricky too. If there's more than one item, it's probably best to ask one of our team for some help. We like to interleave them as we roll and tie them up with a double loop bow. Large items can be quite floppy to handle. Avoid holding them in the middle. Instead, hold them at opposite corners to help support the whole document. You should treat books from the library and archive collections in similar ways, even though the library stock may look more modern and robust. The spine of a book is often the most fragile area, with hidden sewing or glue holding the pages together, and the repetitive action of opening or closing a book can take its toll. Some books may open freely, while others may only have a small opening capacity. Don't force a book to open if it is tightly bound. Instead, feel what the book is offering. If a page doesn't want to turn, or the pages are springing up, be careful and ask for help. Try to only open a book to a maximum of 120 degrees or 90 degrees for tight bindings, and use snake weights to gently support bouncy pages. Our team can always show you how to do this. There are different spine structures to think about too, like hollow back or flexible tight back, and these can influence how a book needs to be supported. That's why we have cushions and foam wedges to use when viewing books. Take a look at our handy How to Support Volumes guides for a reminder. They're on the tables in the archive and library. Cushions offer good all-round support for small or large lighter weight books. Plump up the cushion and make a vertical indent in the centre to help support the spine. Some of our cushions are V-shaped to help tilt the book towards you. Foam wedges are best for heavier books or books with deep spines. Leave a gap for the spine between the wedges. The curved spine of a hollow back book will sit nicely in this gap and lift it off the table. Flexible tight back spines that lift upwards need some extra support with a pointed central foam strip. Remember to adjust your wedges as you work your way through a book. Place the book on the table and use one wedge to support the cover if you want to view the front or back of the book. You'll need two wedges when you're viewing the central pages. You can also tilt the books towards you by adding a larger back wedge. If the spine is rather large, you may have to use the foam wedges like building blocks to help support the depth of the spine. Be careful of tears, broken spines and loose pages. Turn the pages slowly one at a time or carefully in a group. Definitely avoid thumbing or flicking through a book. Take care when you're taking books off the shelves as well. Try to avoid tipping them forward from the top of the book, as this is often the weakest part of the book. Instead, spread the books on either side apart and push the book out from the back. Make sure to support the remaining books so that they don't fall over. If you need to carry a heavy or oversized book, carry it spine down and close to the side of your body. This will reduce the amount of weight pulling down on the fragile sewing structures within the spine, or ask one of our team to help. Most importantly, do tell us if you accidentally dislodge something or tear an item. We all understand that accidents do happen, even with the greatest of care. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you need help, just ask one of our archive or library staff. They're here to help.